Okay, these next three questions are going to be a little challenging, and I think they were written with the intent to get a yes or no answer, so you have 15 seconds. I'll put you on the spot just a little bit. I think we're doing fine time-wise, so we may have a little bit of time at the end of our session for you to explain and answer more, so take notes. Yeah, we're doing fine time-wise, so just, if you don't get enough time in that 15 seconds, plan to tell us more later. Okay, and this would be that. Currently, one of the only ways for voters to follow board business is to attend meetings in person. However, both across the nation and here in Cardinal by the Sea, the City Council, real-time and archived videos of public meetings are instantly available on the web. Do you pledge that once elected, you will press for this standard of accessibility and transparency for your own board meetings?
Sure, I think that sounds like a great idea. There's a program available where we can do everything online for the board members, and by doing it online, that way we can share it with the public much more easily.
Yes, although I have to say, I have been to board meetings and the turnout is really, really low usually, and I would like to see that increase.
Absolutely, extremely important, and that was a key point of my administration at the high school.
Carl took my answer, absolutely. And I'm glad to hear that there is a system. I wanted to see board members discussing issues through open email so we could get discussions done outside of board meeting time and have it public, the discussions that we have, and not violate the Brown Act.
So it's unanimous, yes. All of us will work at this. And also, in other districts I've noticed, regular emails from the superintendent and from the district go out to all the parents on items that are coming up for the agenda and just voting things. Thanks.
I think I'm going to try this at staff meetings. 15 seconds. Okay, Mary, you're first on this. And this is a follow-up question. 3 current board members have stated that they do not have adequate information to understand our district budget or enough detail to make informed decisions. One of them is a finance specialist who claims the data are impenetrable, even to an expert. One claims to have been lobbying the administration in vain for more detail for many years, and another admits to not reviewing the budget painstakingly, relying instead on summaries. Do you pledge that once elected you will work with the administration and the public to create a more detailed, accessible, and transparent representation of our budgets than the ones currently available and post them on the district website?
Absolutely, I think that that's public information. I think that the taxpayers have a right to know how their money is being spent.
Of course, be a fool not to say so, but you also need to know that that budget is a very complicated item. I've seen it for many years, and there's a little more to it than meets the eye.
Yes, certainly, and we need to be careful. We have one of the best financed school districts in the state, and we want to make sure that we're not targeted because of that. But the budget needs to be publicly understood. Everything it is now.
Yes. And it is complicated. I have looked at it. Maybe we need to bring some consultants in or someone in to help us understand it a little bit better and break it down. And I believe it should be posted for parents and taxpayers.
Unanimous again. And I actually have worked with a statewide group that ties our budget system, which is really complicated, into a more publicly accessible format, and I've been working with our business office to provide that.
Okay.
If I can just ask, if anyone else has any questions they'd like to submit, please raise your hand. I'll get you a card, and if anyone has answers already written, raise your hand with that card. Thank you.
Okay, in the October 29th, 2011 edition of the Monterey Herald, a former editor-in-chief of the Carmel High Sandpiper student newspaper wrote that the school paper had been subject to various censorship attempts and that following its exposés on some activities of the superintendent and other staff, the school closed it down. Do you pledge that once elected you would help reinstate this newspaper along with its full constitutional press freedoms? Goes to you, Carl.
Absolutely. That is called necessary curriculum. You have to have a school newspaper, and they have to have a voice. Without that voice, you're taking something away.
Absolutely. My son was the editor after that editor. Last year, my son was editor of the Sandpiper. Basically, they took away the student's voice. And you can't have a claim to have a great high school without having a student newspaper that's independent. Without it, we no longer complain.
Yes, I'm actually working with them right now to see what we can do. And if we could have a paper in the 80s, there's no reason why we can't have a newspaper anymore. 2012.
We had 8 students sign up for the school newspaper this year, and it was combined with journalism. I really think it's an important part of it, but this year we also gained 100 students at our high school and have classes upwards of 35 in a classroom. Having only 8 in a classroom is very difficult to do.
I would absolutely support that. I think those kids, they need to be heard, as Carl said, and I would definitely support that.